Good afternoon. If you'd like to stand up here with us, by all means, we have the entire steps. We invite the entire public to come up and stand behind us as we speak today. If you've testified, we really encourage you to stand up here.
Edge? Where'd you park?
We're over there by the garage.
Probably not. I lost it.
We can collaborate and get stuff together. And we got veterans, I'm overseeing in human rights. We can talk about different.
Good afternoon. My name is Robert Fisher. I am the Communications Director for Promo, the statewide LGBTQ plus public policy and advocacy organization. Today you will hear from advocates and fellow Missouri organizations in opposition to Senate Bill 134. Those speaking today are Erker Lynch, Executive Director of Promo, Tori Schaefer, Deputy Director of Public Policy and Campaigns for ACLU Missouri, Nikhil Vashi, Director of Education and Law for Family Equality, Casey Pick, Director of Law and Policy for the Trevor Project, Maggie Olivia, Policy Manager for Pro-Choice Missouri, and Wendell Rubenstein, Grassroots Organizer for Planned Parenthood of the St. Louis region and Southwest Missouri. For members of the media, we will have 5 individuals who are available for one-on-one interviews afterwards. Please meet them on my left. At the end, we will also have an opportunity for a group photo. Feel free to have photos throughout the entire event as well. Thank you for joining us, and we will begin here with Erker Lynch, Executive Director of Promo.
Thank you all for being here. 27 bills. 27 bills that seek to limit our freedoms, freedom of speech and expression. 27 bills denying us life-saving, evidence-based health care and mental health care. 27 bills erasing today's families and yesterday's history from classrooms. 27 bills where government overreaches into our soccer fields and basketball courts, our private doctors' offices, and our classrooms meant for critical thinking. 27 bills. Yet, certain senators and representatives claim they're not attacking the LGBTQ plus community. Last week, one senator went so far as to say, "I love my LGBTQ plus friends. Please vote to pass this oppressive legislation." As a community, we refuse to sit by idly while we are used as political pawns. There's something that these 27 bills cannot do. They cannot take away our community of care. Our community takes care of our people, and we will continue to. In the face of 27 harmful, dangerous bills, I I am so proud of this community. Today, we outnumbered supporters of these bills by at least 30 to 1, if not more, in every hearing. I got texts asking, where can I bring pizza? Where can I bring donuts? Where can I bring this enormous rainbow arch? We won't stop showing up, and our community of care will continue to thrive.
Hello everybody, I'm Senator Greg Razor, and whether the bill we heard today passes or not, I will continue to tell you I'm gay. I'll say it, I'm gay. Are there any lesbians back there? What about bisexual folks? Trans people? 27 bills. I've personally sat in committee hearings for 9 of those 27. It's exhausting. It's maddening. It's disappointing. And it is ultimately a losing battle for those that are supporting it. They also don't want us studying history, especially black history, but apparently they don't study history at all because they don't understand that they keep coming after the LGBT community. And yeah, they get a victory here and there, but at the end of the day, they lose every single time. Every single time these people lose, and still they come back to get their ass kicked more. So, ignorance, bigotry, sheer politics are at play in the Capitol. And that's disappointing because this state, we have honest to God issues we should be working on. We honest to God should be figuring out how we're going to keep schools open 5 days a week. They're worried about a teacher shortage. Well, let's figure out how to pay teachers more. Let's debate that in committee and on the floor. Let's figure out how we're going to accomplish some of the governor's priorities he set out in the State of the State to make sure that we have child care so that people can get back to work. These are the things we should be talking about, but what does this majority want? What did the President Pro Tem and the majority floor leader say was the #1 issue for the Republican caucus in the Senate? Transgender sports. That was their #1 priority. That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. These people standing behind me, they're not getting paid to be here. They are family, friends, that, well, maybe 1 or 2 are getting paid to be here. They are family, friends who've traveled to Jefferson City to speak out for themselves and for those that they love. And I appreciate the hugs that I get from a lot of these people because this gets pretty old. But I want to remind them, and I want to let you all know, the people watching at home through the media, I don't know what's going to happen this year. We may lose a battle, but this community has never lost a war. We beat them in the 50s. We threw a pie in Anita Bryant's face and ran her off. We beat HIV and AIDS. I can serve in the military. I can get married. The world didn't come to an end. And yes, trans kids can play soccer and the world won't come to an end either. We will win this one too. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Hi, everyone. It's great to be in community with you all today. My name is Tori Schaefer, and I'm an attorney with the ACLU of Missouri. And on behalf of our organization, I want to say that we proudly stand with the LGBTQ plus community and will continue to stand against poorly written laws denying Missourians civil liberties. No state in the entire country has a law like Senate Bill 134. The bill is a violation of the First Amendment because it is overbreadth and vague. This bill would prohibit speech that is undeniably protected, and it fails to define terms in a way that allows individuals to even know whether the expression will violate the law. This bill is more extreme than any other state's Don't Say Gay bill. Bills like the ones we heard today that ban transgender people from accurate government documents also violate the Equal Protection Clause and individual privacy rights. Let's be clear, these bills aim to solve a problem that does not even exist. Week after week, the Missouri legislature continues to attack the LGBTQ plus community with unconstitutional laws. If elected officials truly cared about our children, they'd stop wasting their time, our legislative resources, and our tax dollars on bills like these and work to make our state more inclusive. Children have the right to learn in a healthy and safe environment, free from discrimination and unconstitutional laws. The ACLU stands with the LGBTQ plus community and will continue to defend all Missourians' rights to live free from discrimination. As is our slogan at the ACLU, if the legislature continues to try to pass laws like this, we'll see you in court.
Beloved community, my name is Nick Helvashi. I'm an attorney with Family Equality, an organization that fights for the rights of LGBTQ parents and their children. I monitor anti-LGBTQ legislation all across the nation. There have been hundreds of bills this year, and I can assure you that SB 134 is one of the most extreme and poorly written of these laws that has been submitted this legislative session. Senator Moon insists that this law will do nothing but regulate school counseling when its overbroad language clearly erases any mention of LGBTQ people, LGBTQ history, and frankly, any human and familial relationships, not only from the classroom, but from all of school. If you have any doubt in your mind that that is what this bill will do, well, let's look at what happened in Florida under a much less sweeping law. Schools, in their panic, have banned stickers and decorations proclaiming safe spaces. They have pulled books out of libraries and banned school plays. One book that was banned is about gay penguins raising an egg. In a time when schools are underfunded, when teachers are quitting their jobs because of bills like this and pressures on them, we are expecting them to worry about books about same-sex penguins raising children. There is no thought put into this bill other than knee-jerk reaction to fear and things that are happening around the country. Every single child deserves a safe place to learn, regardless of whether they have two mothers, two fathers, or any combination thereof. And Family Equality will continue to fight against bills like this, which are plainly unconstitutional. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Casey Pick, and I'm the Director of Law and Policy for the Trevor Project. As the world's largest provider of suicide prevention and mental health support services for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and Christian youth, at the Trevor Project, our role is to try to impress upon lawmakers, the public, and anybody who's listening, the seriousness of the mental health harm that can and will be done if these laws pass. 27 bills are being debated, so many of them focusing on the rights and access to care for particularly our trans and non-binary youth, our young people who deserve so much better than that. And the debate itself, we know, is having a negative effect on our youth's mental health. At the Trevor Project last year, our 24/7 crisis lines, whether they be telephone, chat, or text, served more than 4,300 contacts from young Missourians, youth reaching out to us in crisis. And some of them are talking about the same issues that are being debated here today, because those conversations don't stay in the State House. They filter their way out through the media, they find their way to dining room tables, and also, particularly as some of these bills are threatening access to supportive adults, are threatening access to safe and affirming spaces in schools. We are seeing a situation where there are increasing amounts of fear, where there is an increasingly dangerous public climate, and there are fewer safe places and sanctuaries that our youth can turn to. But I don't want to focus on the negatives here. I don't want to repeat once again that more than 80% of LGBTQ youth are telling us that these debates are negatively affecting their mental health. I don't want to debate again that Trevor Project's research found that 55% of trans and non-binary youth in Missouri last year seriously considered suicide. What I want to talk about is what we can do to make tomorrow better. Because the folks on these steps, the folks out there, you are working to make things better. So as we debate have these conversations, as these bills are being raised about whether our young people can join their peers on a playing field, can find a safe person to talk to and to confide in their teacher or their coach, I want you all to remember that for the LGBTQ young person who has at least one supportive adult in their life, they are 40% less likely to report a suicide attempt. You can be that supportive adult. We are here today to protect others' ability to be that supportive adult. We know that access to gender-affirming healthcare, that these opportunities to speak to a mental health professional when they want to, are all too rare, but when youth have them, it saves lives. It is based in evidence. We know that something as simple as a birth certificate having the right letter on it sends a message that we see you, we know who you are, we accept who you are, and we're going to allow you to build a life where you can not just survive, you can thrive. And until that day comes, we at the Trevor Project are here to listen 24/7, 365. Any LGBTQ young person who is finding that it is hard, you can reach out to us, and you can also reach out to a growing community of allies and support, and an LGBTQ community that is strong and has always taken care of our own.
Thank you. My name is Maggie Olivia. I use she, her pronouns, and it is an honor to stand here today joined by this crowd of amazing advocates. I am here on behalf of Pro-Choice Missouri in the name of all of our fundamental rights to bodily autonomy and self-determination. The attacks we are facing right now against trans and gender non-conforming folks and families in Missouri are straight out of the anti-abortion playbook. Their foundation is rooted in disinformation, stigma, and fear, and all under the guise of protecting young women. In the name of protecting young women, they say, in a state with some of the highest rates of maternal mortality, with some of the highest rates of interpersonal and domestic violence, and some of the least access to sexual and reproductive health care, including preventative care, prenatal care, and abortion care. According to the latest Georgetown Review on Safety and Security for Women in the United States, Missouri has a 0% rating for women's security. This body has real work to be done to protect the women in our state. Real work to be done to protect the trans women in this state who experience exponentially higher rates of harassment and violence than their cisgender counterparts. The failure of governments to acknowledge the gender identities of all people, people that they represent, demonstrates a rejection of our fundamental rights of self-determination, dignity, and freedom, and directly contributes to those high rates of harassment and violence. Missouri legislators continue to fail to support all women in our state, and instead continue their cruel attacks on the people who are simply trying to live as their most authentic selves. They are campaigning on the backs of our bodies, our children, and our families. in the face of the majority of Missourians who support basic compassion and care for our neighbors. So we are sowing a movement rooted in love for each other and for the future of this state. Missouri children deserve so much more than grown bullies in suits picking on kids from granite stone buildings, more than the harassment and shame that these attacks elicit in our communities, and we will, with love, together, hand in hand, build the Missouri that all of us deserve. Thank you.
Hi all. I am so glad to be here with you all today. My name is Wendell. I use he, they pronouns, and I'm the St. Louis grassroots organizer with Planned Parenthood Advocates. I'm also a proud queer Jewish transsexual, and thank you. And I'm feeling a mix of rage and determination being here with you all today. Rage because we know these terrible bills are not about keeping kids safe or improving education or any other hollow claims, but about far-right extremists trying to impose their homophobic, patriarchal, white Christian supremacist worldview on the rest of us. But I'm feeling determination because even as far-right extremists, those far-right extremists are working so hard to eliminate queer and trans existence, possibilities, and futures, we are still here. We always have been here, and we always will be here. While they are devoting their power and lives to bigotry, fear, and making life harder for children, we are still here building solidarity and working towards liberation for all people. Because here is the thing, when LGBTQ people are supported and empowered to be our full selves, that benefits everyone, including cisgender straight people. Everyone's lives are everyone's lives are made better by not being forced into strict gender roles, and by having LGBTQ people in your community, families, churches, synagogues, and schools. And that's what solidarity and our movements are all about. We don't just fight for ourselves, for our rights. We fight for people with very different experiences and identities than our own, because that is what's right, and also because that's the only way we can win. And we will win. So with that being said, I wanted to end on a chant in that spirit. So let's be loud, folks. When trans lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When queer lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When youth lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Thank you.
Thank you once again for coming today. Again, the 4 or 5 individuals that are able to have interviews with anyone that would like them, please meet them on their left. From Promo and every single person that is up here, we sincerely appreciate you coming, using your voice, and supporting LGBTQ plus Missourians and our right to absolutely exist.